How do you know if your condo is in the developer's radar when it comes to EnBloc? So if you're thinking of buying an old property in anticipation for EnBloc, or you're currently holding on to an old property and you're hoping that it gets EnBloc, here are three primary factors that you need to consider. The first one is you need to look at the number of new buyers that bought into this condo recently for the purpose of staying in this condo. And what you need to understand is that the condo will only be put up in the market for the developers to start bidding for the land the moment they achieve more than 80% of the residents voting for yes to an EnBloc. And because these new buyers just bought this property and it's still within the first 3 years, if they were to vote for a yes and an EnBloc were to go through, they would have to pay a seller stamp duty. So if you see that this condo have a lot of new buyers who bought in recently, the chances of them voting for yes when it comes to an EnBloc, the probability of that is going to be very low. Second thing you need to look at is the plot ratio. This is the formula that developers use to gauge whether or not there is potential to value add to the land. For example, this land is 100,000 square feet and there is 10 units sitting on this piece of land currently. If the developer realized it can actually build 100 units, the developers would buy over the 10 units because at the end of the day, they are going to have 100 units in their inventory to sell. The last one would be the developer's profit margin. They would calculate based on the land acquisition cost plus the construction cost plus their profit margins and looking at the affluency of the people in that area. If they were to spend this amount of money to EnBloc this piece of land, and based on the three factors that I talked about, would they still be able to sell these properties at a profit? And if after factoring in all these three factors, the future selling price would be too expensive for the people in that area, developers will not be inclined to buy this piece of land. So these are just some of the primary factors as to how developers gauge whether or not this condo is worth EnBlocking or not. And as always, let me know if you have any other topics you want me to cover in the next video, and I'll see you soon.